Okay, we're live.
Okay.
Okay, the first step is, what is health literacy and why is it important?
So health literacy, as far as I get it, is just the ability to communicate healthy, like the health world, in a way that people can understand it. Right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like how much each of us know, too, like with when it comes to health decisions, the degree of which we know.
Yeah, I think it's the processing of what we know and how we can help other people understand it. And
Yeah.
just basic information.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's important just because to help us understand the world we live in,
Mm-hmm.
help us be healthy. And okay,
Yeah.
so the step number 2 is we're supposed to review the models, the 7 key components of the Weaver model. I like this. This was interesting to me.
I liked this one too.
Do you want to each
So-
just go through and take one? Like, we can each take turns doing one.
I think that sounds good.
Yeah, that works. Who wants to start?
I'll go first. I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay, the number 1 is the sender. So obviously that's the person who is giving the information. It can be a health provider or a public health service person.
Sweet.
Next is encoding. That's the way the information is packaged for transmission. So it's whatever language or symbols they're expected to be decoded by the receiver.
Sweet. Okay, a message is, I'm trying to describe it without saying the word message, but what you're communicating, the context that you're wanting to get across.
Okay. The number 4 is channel. So it's just the medium used. It's, you know, radio, TV, web page, that kind of thing.
5 is decoding, and that's how the message is unpacked after you've sent it.
And then receiver is who you're targeting, or who gets the message from you.
And the last one is the noise, the distractions that happen as you're trying to receive messages. So, okay. So the next step 3 is we're supposed to watch. We'll just give you a minute. You can rewatch or just watch it if you haven't watched the video.
Okay.
I've watched it, so I'm gonna go turn up my heat because I'm freezing.
Okay.
Okay, I finished it.
Okay, so then we're supposed to identify the 7 components for that message. And I guess we can all take turns doing that again, type thing, and help each other out, I guess.
Yeah.
The first one, the sender, it's a public service announcement, so I guess that would be the sender. But I also noticed that the advertisements, who I guess probably fund that, is the ABC network and 1 Hour Optical. So I don't know if we would put that down too, but they are helping with the distribution of that public service announcement.
So for encoding, I guess it was packaged like making you think about what you're doing, I guess, making you pause and think. I don't know how I would describe it. Like,
I understand it as being like the English language and like the texting.
okay.
Texting population. That's how I interpret it. What about you, Claire?
I was also wondering if emotions play into it, like
the mom.
Like the message you don't text while driving, but then they encoded it in emotions. I don't know if that was one way to interpret it. Just like the negative emotions.
Yeah.
Because they had the mom there, and she's like, my babies are in the car, like making you feel emotion of like if you're texting in the car, you're going to feel that emotion.
Yeah.
That some of the babies are in the car.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I took from it. And I guess I think encoding and decoding, just depending on what we're looking at, are really similar. Like decoding is probably the same, like, because as you're watching it, you're like, oh my gosh, that's so sad. Like,
yeah.
Like you can tell she's so sad. She was texting and she's like, I don't have time. Like, I'm not done with my text. And it's like, you know what's going to happen.
I was hoping that they weren't going to crash. That my hope. And then they crashed. So I'm like, oh.
Yeah. You know, that was a good 1 minute commercial. It was like.
It was.
Well done.
It was powerful.
Yeah.
It was very
so I guess I kind of skipped ahead. But the channel was a commercial or through TV.
Yeah.
Okay. We kind of talked about decoding. Well, actually, do we need to go back to message? The content?
I thought we talked about that. Just
Just don't text.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't text and drive. Okay. Decoding, I guess, yeah, it's kind of the same as encoding. But it's relatable because all of us have cell phones.
Yeah. The receiver is obviously teens. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry. I thought you were. It's hard on these.
Yeah, it's hard to figure out when people are done or
because you can't really look at someone and look at the steps at the same time.
Well, let's keep on going. So the receiver, it's the teenagers.
Yeah. I think like I just lost my train of thought. It wasn't that important, apparently. It'll come back.
That happened to me all the time when I was pregnant.
Sadly, I don't think this is just a pregnancy thing. This is pretty normal. So, and then the noise. Well, I guess it could just be it wouldn't be the noise happening during the actual watching of this, but just the pressure that teenagers have, that they feel like, oh, I can text and drive, it's safe, everybody does it. Do you guys think that would be the noise?
It could be that they're just not going to pay attention because they already think that, teenagers think they're at the top of the world and nothing can hurt them. So they just might ignore it.
Is noise, I thought noise was as you're trying to get the message, not the message itself. Like the distractions you have when you're watching it.
That could be.
Such as the book says things that are going on in the background, or things that distract the receiver, such as hunger or preoccupation.
Yeah, or it's like, oh, it's a commercial break.
Oh.
Maybe something like that. I just put noise as any other influence messing with your message. So I guess you could look at it on different levels.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not that they're all right.
Yeah, I think it would be different for me or compared to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But our distractions, like Jackie, your baby, if they're crying or something. Okay.
I was grateful though that it actually wasn't like babies in the car. I mean, they were little kids, but I was like prepared to see like
an infant
in the back. I was like, no.
But that's also the kind of the receiver. Like my grandma, her babies are, my parents, or my mom, not my parents, but like I think your kids are always your babies. Like
it's true. So no matter what age you affect, it's like
you're killing someone's kid if you're gonna.
Yeah.
Especially with cargo in the car. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. What are some of the strong components of this? I think the message is very, very strong. I think it's the shocking and emotion. The emotion, I guess it plays on your emotion, and then that shock of the crash at the end.
Yeah.
I think it. Go ahead, Claire.
I was just going to say, I really, really liked how they portrayed it, where they both got out and talked. And it was like, the teenager was like, I'm just finishing a message. Like, she explained like her teenage mindset. And then the other lady was like, well, you have time. Like, you got to stop. And she's like, I'm sorry. Like, I just thought they did a really good job of like,
frozen in time.
Yeah, breaking down what's happening and how you really can't change it if you started.
I agree with that, and I also like that they show that you have time to stop. Like, you can change your behavior. It wasn't set in stone until she continued to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. What are some of the things that can be done differently? I was thinking that it could be some way applied to adults texting as well, because that is a problem too.
I think there's more adults that drive distracted than we think.
Yeah.
So I think they could do something about that too.
Yeah. I've also seen like no text and driving commercials that are, it's like they'll show the crash happen, but then they'll replay it again where maybe one of the friends stops the person, or like they play it again as a different scenario, or she sees her phone get a text and she just ignores it and see it drive.
I like that.
You know? So maybe they could have.
I like that too.
Between the two.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, that could show a different scenario of, yeah, that's a good idea.
One of her friends saying, I'll text your mom or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or she gives the phone to her friend.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. And then the last question is, how did the message change behavior?
I don't text and drive, but if I did, I wouldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, people realize the risks of texting, and so they'll stop. So,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think that's it. So
I think so too. We just do the same type of thing for the application. We just each find our own different stuff, right? Videos.
Yeah.